Hi Cancer, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your deep love read for September. This is a very requested reading, so I'm just going to be doing it with tarot. We're going to be doing a bunch of spreads for love. We're going to start off with the yes-no read. Guys, these are general messages. Please don't try to make them fit. If they don't, it might not be your reading. I am doing a number of spreads, so one of the spreads may end up resonating with you over the other. But we're going to start with a yes-no. For those of you who are new to my channel, welcome, welcome. And the way these work, that you're going to ask a question that would require a yes, no, or maybe, not yet kind of answer. I do pull 3 different cards to formulate the final answer. So you want to ask the one question the same way in full sentence format 3 times. Best to ask it out loud, but if you're in a situation right now where you can't, it's okay. Just ask it, and again, in full sentence format in your mind. You want to be very relaxed when you do this, guys. So this way you don't create any sort of energetic blocks within you. So you want to keep your belly and your shoulders relaxed, right? So a really good thing to do is a Buddha breath. So when you inhale, you want to fill your belly with air. And exhale, nice deep exhale. It's very hard to tighten your shoulders when you're doing that. Okay, so let's focus on the cards now and ask that question 3 times. Messages for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Messages for Cancer. Okay. I don't honor reversals with the yes-no reads. Messages for Cancer. Card number 1. 4 of Pentacles, that's a yes card. Card number 2. 8 of Cups is a no card. And the World is a yes card. So we have 2 yeses and 1 no, which would mean most likely yes, just not yet. Some sort of work needs to be put into something. So this can go for those of you who are single. You know, yes, you will meet somebody, but what needs to be considered first? Those of you not together right now, most likely yes, getting back together, what needs to be done, or could be most likely break up, not be together, what's going to be going on. If you're together and you're just in a weird cycle, what's the story going on? So we're going to pull 2 qualifiers for each of these. We have Temperance and we have Queen of Cups that are qualifying the 4 of Pentacle energy. 8 of Cups is being qualified by the Page of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles. The World is being qualified by the 8 of Swords and the Hermit energy. Yeah. So some work needs to be done here, for sure. It does seem like for our Cancer friends, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, we do have the World, which is the most positive card in the deck, but let's talk about this. So the 4 of Pentacles, when it comes to Pentacles and relationship reads, Pentacles can mean money and resources, but it also means mental, physical, and emotional connection. So the way we relate, the way we communicate, obviously. Qualifying these, we have Temperance and the Queen of Cups. These are 2 really, really positive energies. So there's an element of self-protection here, though, with the 4 of Pentacles. So it could be being very protective of your heart, of yourself, Cancer. I'm feeling more than anything. I mean, it could certainly be holding your money very close right now, because you've been through a bit, right, having to do with money. And you may just start right now, be finally getting back on your feet slowly but surely, and you just don't feel like you have extra money to give out, right? That's going to resonate with some of you. For others of you, though, it's feeling just very in a space of self-protection. So we have this idea of Temperance and the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is about having the conversation about what you need to feel very safe, right? Because it's Gemini and Cancer, and Gemini is about communication. It rules the 3rd. It's the landlord of the 3rd house of communication. And Cancer is about the 4th house of home, of love, of safety, of feeling rooted and grounded in something, right? And really feeling safe. So it's having that conversation and the sharing of emotions, right? And then we have temperance is about compromise, right? What do you need? What do they need? What does the relationship need? So these energies are very, very necessary right now, because without having that conversation, you're going to be in a space of feeling very self-protective unless you feel like there's going to be a really good amount of compromise, and unless you feel like you can be made to feel safe, and having those important, crucial conversations that you need to hear in order to incite that safety, right? Because that's important to you guys. Now we have the Eight of Cups. So the Eight of Cups is about walking away. It's a Saturn and Pisces energy. It's recognizing that something is toxic and not good and needing to walk away. But you know what's interesting about this energy is, particularly in the upright, it's a recognition that's, you feel sad about something. Now, guys, I do want to say the energies could always be reverse. Always be vice versa, where somebody maybe left you. You're leaving somebody, right? I mean, that's the way these general messages go. But somebody identifying that something was just toxic and not going to ultimately be what it was that they were looking for. So while there's a lot of sadness here, there's no regret. But I always want to say with the Eight of Cups energy, this energy in particular, if it's not handled with grace and dignity, can definitely generate some nasty karma. So, like, no ghosting should go on here or anything like that. Anything like that, if it's not handled with grace and dignity, either by you or by them, it can generate some nasty stuff at the end of the day. Now, also, what I always say, though, is if you're dealing with any sort of person with narcissistic tendencies, let them go. Don't even bother with them. Just drop them off, do you know? I mean, and so much easier said than done, but it doesn't mean they have to have NPD, right? But if somebody is really unhealthy, where there's a lot of deflection and they're very, very toxic, then you just might need to do that, right, for your own sanity. But we have what's going on here with this is we have the Page of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. So when we talk about the Eight of Pentacles first is the Sun and Virgo energy, and this is an apprentice card, right? So this is about, there could be a certain level of frustration here when it comes to commitment, to communication. It could also obviously be to resources as well. Starting something new. Right? The Eight is about the Seven of Pentacles starts a new cycle, and the Eight of Pentacles is like, all right, you're in the new cycle and now you're really putting in the work. So this could have to do with where you're in like a new cycle of this relationship, or you're in a new cycle of your life, maybe not in the relationship, right? After it perhaps ending, but you feeling this sense of frustration, you feeling this sense like you don't have the money to do the little things that you want to do. You don't have the emotion or the emotional wherewithal to actually put yourself out there again right now, even if you guys broke up. For those of you who are single, though, I do feel like you're in a mode of self-protection. You are in a mode of self-protection, but it's this realization for those of you, not to digress, but for those of you who are single, you're recognizing that there's got to be a lot of give and take, and making the decision to not stay single anymore. And in doing that, you need to recognize, though, that even though you're in this space of sort of not having all of the willingness that maybe you feel like you should have to get back out there again, we have the Page of Pentacles, which incites a new cycle of sharing, of communicating, of giving, of sharing. So even though you might feel this sense of lack in that you have, but you're not sure if you have the wherewithal to get back out there again. For those, especially to those of you who are in a space of being single, those of you who are broken up, you're not sure if you have what's necessary to actually get back into it. You're just really not sure. Now, for those of you who are in a relationship and you're in it, but there's this situation going on with fairness being an issue regarding finances, I can see this being an issue as well. For those of you who have been together for a really long time, and it's just you guys are in a weird space, the weird space may have to do with money and what you feel you guys need in order to feel safe, grounded, and secure. And then that's going back to the Temperance energy, could certainly indicate like you guys need to have that conversation, because you're in this space now, though. I feel like there has to be, Eight of Pentacles has to do with this being in the space of building and not having quite enough yet, working it out, having what you need, because we have the sun in there, right? The sun in Virgo. The sun gives you what you need to do the work. There's a lot of work going on here. So you're trying to either do the work to collect the money, do the work to create the connection, do the work on yourself so that you're in a really good space to open yourself up to relationship, to open up to this new Page of Pentacle energy, this new cycle of connection. For some of you, you're going to be starting a brand new job, right? So this can be some sort of issue. Now, I'm not making this about career, because this is about, I'm focusing this, and my energy is tapped into the idea of relationship here. But it's silly to say that if we're married or we're in this, a very close long-term living together kind of situation, that money is not an issue. So this could certainly be an energy that's going on here. I'm being called to say that. But regardless, I get a lot of working on yourself energy here. And I see it going well. I mean, we have the world now. Keep in mind, the world is a Saturn energy, and Saturn is all about, the world is the gifts that you get once you put in all the hard work. So I see you working really, really hard here, right? Sun in Virgo, Eight of Pentacles, you're really working hard. So this is working on yourself, working on the relationship, putting work in whatever area you need to work in, Cancer. And then the world is getting that blessing on the other side. But let's talk about this Eight of Swords and the Hermit, because to me, this is talking about the work that you really, right? I mean, this is just really resonating with me as far as the work that you need to really focus on here. The Eight of Swords and the Hermit are very introspective energies. First of all, the Eight of Swords feels like that it's a very mental energy, as you could tell, right? Because she's looking at her reflection in the mirror, and look at how she sees herself. She sees herself very sort of bound. It's feeling like you don't belong in a situation. That's the Eight of Swords. It's just feeling like you're in something that you no longer resonate with, or you're in something that resonated with you at one point, but you just don't feel like you belong there anymore. And maybe you're not the one who changed it all, but you may sense that your partner changed. A common example I always give for this energy is like, if you're working in an office environment and all of a sudden everybody in the office is like in the boss's office, and you sense that they're talking about you when you weren't invited to the meeting, and they come out and everybody's kind of weird. So things are just kind of left of center, and you're feeling like you don't really belong there anymore. You can't really pin it. So, and that's what the Eight of Swords energy is, and the Hermit is about taking the mental space to do some solid thinking. Now, having to do with relationship, it can indicate going it alone for a minute, you know, while you're really thinking things through. But this could also indicate working privately on a relationship. So some of you may be in a space where, okay, how do I want to say this? Some of you may be in a space where there is a walking away. This is going to resonate with some of you, and I have to just say it. A walking away from some sort of indiscretion. Some sort of relationship that, because the Hermit energy, when it comes to relationships, again, it can mean going it alone, or it can mean working on a relationship in private, which typically would indicate some sort of indiscretion. But with the Eight of Swords, you feeling like you can't do it anymore. You don't want to do it anymore. And you working really hard on walking away from something and doing some work on yourself to extricate yourself from an unhealthy situation. And the gift out of that is you end up getting the World energy, which is the most positive card in the deck. So that's going to resonate with some of you, and that's very clear to me with that Hermit with the Eight of Swords. Yeah. Now, for some of you, if you're, if you're single and you've been going it alone now, right? Part of this understanding is recognizing what you need to release in order to have. Where do you get in your own way? Where is it that you feel like you don't belong? Why maybe do you put yourself in those situations with people that can ultimately make you feel more at peace and centered in the relationship? Or, you know what I mean? Bring you what you need. And this in the Hermit energy is really getting in touch with that. like the Y on the other side of it, and that will end up bringing you the world energy. So I see that as being really good. Okay, felt like a lot of messages came through with that one. I hope that wasn't too confusing. All right, so let's pull some Lenormand to see what additional messages we can get. So these can piggyback on these. These can be separate messages altogether. So we're going to pull Lenormand, and then we're going to pull a past, present, challenge, and outcome energy. Okay, we have the snake. Okay, we have the clouds. Understandable. But then we have the sun on the other side of that. So let's see. Beautiful. Stars. Something is preordained and destined. Meant to happen. Whatever's happening right now. Then we have the bridge, which is about bridging the gap. Moving away from something. Transitioning. Taking a chance. And a message coming in, inciting a new cycle. Okay. So, I mean, the snake is a very duplicitous energy. It really, really is. It's very one that can't be trusted. Really, it's the best way of saying it. It's a situation where somebody perhaps presented themselves in one way and were another way in all actuality. I mean, think about it. This is obviously from the Garden of Eden, right? This is the snake from the Garden of Eden, right? Telling Eve, you know, eat the apple, nothing's going to happen. It's going to make you intelligent. It's going to make you, you know, promising her the world. Honestly, nothing's going to happen. And saying one thing, but knowing very well that something was going to happen, right? So this is definitely an energy that doesn't have your best interests at heart, for sure, and it creating a lot of conflict. So this could be you feeling like somebody doesn't have your best interests at heart. This could be somebody being very sort of dishonest. I mean, really just straight up dishonest, and creating a lot of conflict, right? But through that conflict ends up being some sort of blessing, because then we have the sun and we have the star. And the star, it brings us to this bridge, which means there's transitioning here and you taking a chance and some sort of message coming in that's going to incite a brand new cycle. So there's definitely a moving away, though, from this duplicity, this dishonesty, this nasty energy, for lack of a better term. The dishonesty. So it could be a moving away. So for those of you who are together, or maybe you're broken up even, but you're like in a weird space, perhaps somebody was not honest with you. But then the honesty shows up. Somebody ends up reaching out to you, taking a chance and reaching out to you, and you guys have this conversation, because we have the letter with the messenger, having this conversation, and there being this truth, an exposure of truth. Right? Because we have the sun with the clouds. So this, when we get this with the snake and with the stars next to it, we can, you know, this could be the truth being revealed, everything being put out on the table. And with the bridge, it's this gap being bridged, right? It's transitioning from one space to another, but it's a gamble. It's a gamble. But it's some sort of communication coming in that's going to incite a new cycle. So now let's see. I mean, listen, even though we have a most likely, you have to do, you know, it's a yeah, most likely yes, but you have to do the work. Okay, fine, but that doesn't mean you have to take part in that. This could be some of you taking opportunity with a new cycle. Let's see what the cards say. This is the past. Okay. This is the present. Challenge. Outcome. Ace of Swords. So the Three of Wands, Cancer, this tells me that you guys were in a space of, and Sun in Aries is a beautiful energy. I mean, the Sun is giving you everything that you need to start a new path. This is definitely a new path in the past, you know? Passionate, motivated, very connected. You guys were on your way. You were making a lot of plans. Right now we have the Nine of Wands energy, which is actually a card of power. I mean, it really is. It's Moon in Sagittarius. A moon, as I feel, and it's in Sagittarius, is about moving forward with integrity. So what I like about this, it's not the Ten of Wands, right? You don't want to get to the Ten of Wands energy. It's making sure that you keep in control of what it is that you really want, need, and desire, and really paying attention to everything and not allowing your emotions to wash over you. Even though you guys are this beautiful water energy, you want to be careful of not allowing that, because then something can become a complete overwhelm. This is really about tuning and tapping into your power right now, Cancer. It's all about that for you right now. Because again, this is a power position, the Nine of Wands. It really is. If something was not okay with you, don't compromise on that. There are many things, there are areas where compromise is not a healthy thing, and I'm being called to say that to you. The challenge here is the Strength card. Okay, that makes sense. You guys are sensitive. You're a water sign. The Strength is Leo. It's a fire sign. It's very... See, the Strength energy, the Leo energy, has no problem saying me, 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 me. No problem tapping into their ego on what they need, want, and desire. Cancer doesn't have such an easy time doing that, right? Because the water signs in general are very giving, because they're the emotional. It's the water. It's very giving, very sensitive, very considerate, very forgiving. Very, all of these things. So it's not easy for a water sign to just be all like me, 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 me. Obviously, it depends what else you have in your chart. So if a cross watcher and you're like, really? Because my Cancer is like, it depends what they have in their chart. No Cancer is all Cancer, guys. We have 12 houses in us. Our sun sign is only our ego consciousness. You have to take everything into account, right, to get the full picture. That's why it's so important to understand your house placements. But I do get that this is the challenge, right? The challenge could also be you feeling the need to stroke somebody's ego. You're having a hard time with that. It can be. And it can also be the fact that you're very, very attracted to the person, where every time you guys sit down to have the conversation, you end up sort of melting and not being able to sort of get to the end point that you should be in a conversation as far as addressing an issue. So these are some challenges that can be showing up. But the final outcome is the Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords is all about ideas coming to light, new ideas, new suggestions, new epiphanies, a new way of communicating. There's honesty here, there's openness, there's good communication here. Yeah. So, I hope that this Ace of Swords is a balancing out of that sneak energy, right? Yeah. All right. So let's pull some oracles. See what else we get. For our Cancer friends. You've been in my dreams. You think I pull away from you. I don't. You push me away. There's a difference. Okay. This could be you. This could be them. This could be a little bit of both of you. I don't know if I can ever be exactly who you expect me to be. Don't know if I can ever be exactly who you expect me to be. Wedding rings. Union, wedding, marriage, soul connection. Twin flames. We don't need to explain that one, guys, do we? Okay. The Grim Reaper. The relationship is over. No second chances. Grow and transform your life. Yep. And that's I could see what's going on, but I want to pull some tarot. Two of Wands, yep. Seven of Wands, yep. King of Cups, yep. I mean, really, honestly, guys, what has to happen here, you need to redefine your relationship if you guys are going to be together. I like that we got the Grim Reaper. Because however it was not working. It was not working, Cancer. It just wasn't working. You guys maybe need to be apart for a while. You need to work on yourself, really grow and transform your life. That needs to be done. But I see there being, because then we have this Two of Wands and the Seven of Wands. And we have the Seven of Wands. This is all about drawing a line in the sand. This is Mars and Leo. So it's drawing a line in the sand about what you want, need, and desire, and being recognized for these things, and not feeling like, because the Seven of Wands indicates that there's conflict here. And the conflict is because you don't feel like what you want, need, and desire is heard and honored. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice here. We have the Two of Wands here, and the Two of Wands is a beautiful energy, right? It's a Mars in Aries. Mars rules Aries. This is all about a new path, a fresh perspective, lots of passion here. So for some of you, right, for some of you, you may still be thinking about somebody here. But it's time to end that so that you can end up meeting the person that you are meant to meet, where you're able to say, okay, person, this is what I want, need, and desire in a relationship. And they're like, okay, cool. This is what I want, need, and desire. And you guys being able to have that beautiful connection here. This is Libra and Scorpio. This is about you transforming. Right? So for some of you, you're going to relate to it like that. For others of you, it's completely breaking down the relationship as it was, in order for you guys to rebuild it. But you can't rebuild it unless everybody knows what everybody needs. And then you have this new beginning. But we have to go here to this King of Cups energy. I mean, this is fabulous. This Libra and Scorpio. Libra is about partnership. It's the 7th house. And Scorpio is about transformation. It's the 8th house. It's how we show up with other. So it's having the communication about connection, about money, about all the things that you might need to have the conversation about, but having it in a way where everybody feels heard. Because whatever, either you or the energy that you're dealing with, somebody doesn't feel like they're measuring up to the other person's vision and needs of what they want them or need them to be. So that could be how they're feeling or how you're feeling. And that needs to go away, because you can't build a long-term relationship on that. That needs to be put to rest. And everybody needs to be able to tap into the 7 of Wands in order to incite the 2 of Wands energy, which is a new path and a new cycle. Beautiful. Okay, so that is what I get with this. Let's pull an astro card to see what part of your chart, part of your energies do you need to tap into this month in order to help you navigate relationship. Scorpio, the Scorpio energy, the animal. It's about transformation. Scorpio is the 8th house, transformation, intense, passion. We have secretive, carnal, thorough, obsessive, intimate, primal, lusty. Okay? So you need to be careful of this, right? You don't want to engage in any sort of manipulation, any sort of destructive behaviors, anything like that. You want to really tap into the element of transformation, because something needs to be over as it was, and then it needs to be transformed. Now, some of you are going to be transforming yourselves into another relationship. Others of you are going to be working on transforming this relationship. Guys, it's a general message. It's not going to resonate with each of you the same way, but that general energy of there being transformation in this month, absolutely, I do see it. Jupiter does come out of retrograde on the 12th, finally going direct. So by the end of the month, we are going to be getting those Jupiterian blessings, depending on where Jupiter falls in your chart. That's where the blessings are going to be coming in. But I'm going to talk more about the astrology in a few days when I address the second week of September. But until then, guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.